Welcome. In this lecture you will learn to write conditional statements in Python. This is also referred to as decision making. So we write a condition and then we apply different actions depending on whether this condition evaluates to true or false. Let's take an example. Let's create a variable and assign it an integer, let's say 3. And then you say if v less than 3, and then you pass a colon to denote the end of the if line, and then you press enter. Now here notice the indentation. Atom indented our new line here with 4 white spaces. If you were using a plain text to write your Python script, you'd have to indent yourself at least 1 space. A good practice though is to indent 4 spaces or 1 tab. But Atom is smart enough to know that we are writing Python code, so it indents the new line for us. So this is the syntax of an if statement. So if v is less than 3, we would say print less, just like that, and press enter. Now if you want to write more lines of code, you'd have to write them in the same indentation level. So here, print really. That's it. Let's now execute this script. So I'll open the command line, invoke Python and say script 3.py. And we didn't get anything because v is not less than 3, it's actually 3. So if it was 2 and then we execute the script again, we would get this output printed out because v is less than 2. So let's keep this 3. And now you'd want to check the other options as well. Let's say else. So you got the colon there and you get an indented line here. And here you write the statement you want to execute if this statement here is not true. So let's say print equal or greater. Save and execute. And so we get the output. So the else statement allows us to execute another statement where the if statement evaluates to false. So you can leave it without an output, as we did here when we didn't have an else statement, but you can also generate an output if the if statement evaluates to false. Now we can add more decisions here, and we do that by using the elif statement. Now this works like the if statement. So we want to check here if v is equal to 3. So we have a double assignment operator here, which means equal. So don't confuse this with the assignment operator. When we have one single character of this, we are assigning a value to a variable. When we have 2, we are checking if the value is equal to another value. So if that is equal to 3, we will print equal. Then here we can either add more elif statements, elif blocks like this one, or we can add the entire block with an else statement. So what remains is greater. That's it. Let's execute the script. And we get equal because v is equal to 3. If you change the number to 5, save, execute again, and you have greater than that. So this is a conditional block. You'll see that we will be incorporating if statements a lot in our programs because decision making is crucial in programming. Let's say you have a web app built with Python, and there you have an area where user can log into your system. So you have a username text box and you have a login text box. The user enters the username and the password. And basically, let's say you'll save this username to a variable, and then you have the database. So you'll check if the username is in the database, and if it is, you'll log in this user, so you'll perform some action under the if statement, and if it's not, you'll have to return a message, so you'll say print this username doesn't exist in our system, and so on. So conditional statements. See you in the next lecture.